The 12 cents on the dollar was something that might have been stimulative. The other 88 cents went to increase governmental spending, food stamps, Head Start. Now, I'm not to suggest that they don't have merit, but the problem is that doesn't stimulate the economy. My own 21-year-old daughter called me up and says, what does more money for Head Start do to stimulate the economy? And I said, good girl, you finally get it. You know, if we had taken the same $1 trillion and suspended all payroll taxes for every working American, you know how long we could have done that for? 1 year. We could have suspended all of your payroll taxes for 1 year, spending the same amount of money. And yet, what do? We pick and choose winners and losers in our tax policy. 12 cents on the dollar went to the construction industry, which is fine. That's stimulative. The other 88 cents went to social programs, which is not stimulative, but you all get to still pay for it. Next gentleman in the cowboy hat. I always like to do that. Barack Obama said he was in Montana, he had to pick out somebody with a cowboy hat.
Thank you, Denny.
Yeah.
And yes, Barack Obama, Chester, and all the rest of them do have my email address. They're not happy with me. I'm not happy with the Republicans or the Democrats or anybody else at this point. And for reasons which you brought out, the attitude of past administration just need a major tune-up. This country is going down the tubes and not honoring our Constitution. And I promised my wife I'd put this in here for her, particularly the Patriot Act, the health care, gun control, all of that. It's all being eroded terribly. And the Patriot Act, where somebody can, some government agency can just come busting into your house legally, I hope they don't come into my house.
Okay, let me.
I hope.
Let me address a couple of those because, yeah, when you speak in generalities, you got to be a little bit careful, especially when I know specifics. And that is, for all of George Bush's faults on things like the Patriot Act and some of the things that some people have confusion or at least a disgruntlement or an opposition to, let me give you a couple of good examples. And it's one of the reasons why some people run under parties, some people run under philosophies. There's one thing that I will tell you that has never happened in the 8 years that George Bush was the president. And that was nobody even considered additional gun control. And in fact, the Brady Bill was eliminated under his administration because they knew we would uphold his veto. So you threw that in, that we're losing our gun owner rights. No, we actually went the right way for the last 8 years. There has been no consideration of any changes within the Second Amendment because we knew George Bush was solid. And thank you, George, for that. Okay. Now, one of the first bills that was introduced under the new administration was House Bill 45, which is gun control. Yes. But they got themselves kind of in a quandary because they're having difficulty. A lot of people since that time were elected under the philosophy of gun owner rights. The blue dog Democrats, which we just say a blue dog is nothing more than a yellow dog holding his breath for a very long time. The second area that I just think, George Bush, you know, I get mixed reaction because Montana's a 50-50 state in many different areas. I'm pro-life, all right? I ran under pro-life philosophy, is what I believe in. And for the last 8 years under George Bush's presidency, there was no movement to change to allow more opportunity for government-financed abortion and such. So thank you, George Bush. So, you know, are we going to hell in a handbasket? I don't think so. I think we've got a great country if we just pay attention. If we keep coming out, the Tea Parties are great because it's nothing more than the public saying, I'm taxed enough already, I want to have a voice. And what is this all about? A president who's a community organizer criticizing people who are organizing the community? I'm sorry, I don't get it. You know, it just means that y'all are organizing under a different philosophy. We're going to keep moving and we're going to run out of time.
Just make a comment too quickly. Quickly.
Yep.
I would appreciate if everybody here, especially the seniors, would dig into that monstrosity down there and look at pages like 425, government mandates advanced care planning consultant. The government's going to instruct living wills. They're going to provide an approved list of end-of-life resources. The seniors need to get on this immediately. My comment about the gun control was in the relationship to the last year. And they are trying to ram a lot down our throats quickly and not for our benefit.
Hey, next, is there any way we can turn the lights down just a little up here? I'm cooking. It's gonna look really bad if I take my shirt off.